Good afternoon, everyone. I apologize for being a little bit late. I should have it at 11:55 and so I don't. So I was actually writing everything down. I was talking to two of my mastermind ladies. I was just doing what I usually do on a Monday, but I did it on Tuesday instead because I was focusing on other things, meaning taking care of my spirit. So, without further ado, I am Trisha. And I'm an indigenous. So let me just give me a second. Give me a second. So, I am trishacondo. I'm an indigenous psychic and a spiritual mentor who helps like minded spiritual women own their gifts and reconnect with their authentic selves while creating a safe space for them to connect with their spirit guides. So that is pretty much what I do. And I'm also the creator and founder of Trishacondo Enterprises and an indigenous spiritual business for non-indigenous and spiritual, indigenous um, intuitives. Something just distracted me. And spiritual entrepreneurs reach, you know, six figures and make an impact in this world. So with that being so sorry. Why am I apologizing? So I'm coughing. Just give me a second. Okay. It wasn't the email that distracted me. I just started to lose my voice, which is interesting. Just give me a second. Okay, I'm back. I wasn't expecting that. So be sure that you check my social media, which is Instagram, my YouTube, my TikTok, and my Clubhouse. Okay, they're all at Trish Condo. Thank you for showing up. I really appreciate it. Make sure that you like this video, that you love it, you share it out. Okay, except for my private group. We want to keep everything locked and tight there. We want to keep the anonymity going on there. Okay, so with that being said, make sure that you visit my website, which is trishacondo.com. You can sign up for my weekly newsletters. I do talk about things there and really cool things. Okay, let's get on with this. Branding the indigenous. What a big topic, eh? Hi there, Susie. Hi there, Robin. So, yeah, branding the indigenous way. Hi, Jillian. So you can heal, you can help, and you can stand out. So, for quite a while, just a little bit of a backstory, for quite a while, I was following, hi, Tracy. I was following the non indigenous way for a long time. Hi, Diane. I was following it for a very, I would say, good 12 years. I was following the non indigenous way for a very long time. I followed very influential marketers. I followed them all. I took the programs. And there was a big gap or a big hole in all of, and I'm not knocking them, but there was a big gap. And what they weren't really teaching was the healing part, the helping part, and the standing out part for us people who are in minority groups, such as Indigenous people. And that was really missing. And if you did, and I'm going to be a little bit polarizing here, and if it was, I'm not, and I'm being tongue tied right now, it's because you don't see enough Indigenous entrepreneurs being celebrated enough. And that's the truth. Okay. So I felt like we needed to heal this part. Okay. This part, when you're starting to brand the Indigenous way, it's all about healing. that part of us, especially if you're part of this minority group, this marginalized group. And I'm saying that because this is the truth. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. I'm not going to blow smoke up your butt or anything like that. And I felt this, there was this gap because I would always be ignored, for better of a word, for a lack of word, I was ignored a lot. Even though in the background, people would hire me, but they would never celebrate me, if I can say that. They would celebrate other non-indigenous entrepreneurs or psychics or guides, but they would never acknowledge me. I don't know why. So this is just a truth. This is just a plain truth. It did happen to me. And the other person, the non-indigenous person, got celebrated, got witnessed, got everything. And I'm not saying, I'm not putting anybody down, but this is the reality of my world. And so branding the indigenous way, I really wanted to heal that part. Okay. Heal and help stand you out. Especially me. I've done this for better close of the 12 years. Okay. And I focus on weaving your identity, your cultural identity, your traditions, your ceremonies, which would most of the time have been deemed like shameful. So what I do is I touch upon that. And a lot of us really, especially as Indigenous entrepreneurs, we're in the background. We don't want to be seen, we don't want to be heard, or that is what we're taught. Okay? Don't do this, don't do that. That's dangerous, that's sacred. And I'm not mocking anybody. I'm just saying this is what's in the background of us. Okay? Especially me I'm just speaking for Indigenous people, or maybe I shouldn't be doing that, but there's so many emails going by my face. Okay. So once we start weaving your identity, your culture, your traditions, this is a healing part. Okay. I know I was born Indigenous, Aboriginal, whatever you want to call it, First Nations, and I'm very proud of where I came from. And I'm very proud that I was born from 2 Indigenous parents. I am totally proud of that. So once we heal those Indigenous parts of us, okay, those stories that we've carried on from our parents, then we can help this generation. We can help maybe the intergenerations. And when we start branding that way, ourselves that way, then we heal those old stories, right? And when we start helping our generation and the next generation, then we'll start to stand out as a healer and as a guide. And that's where the magic happens. That's where the magic happens. And when you start to stand out and you start to put your message out there and you start to brand and weave everything, you weave your story, you weave your identity, you weave, your background. Okay? It turns into a beacon of hope, a message for all of us to say, hey, if she can do it, I can do it. So I'm sure you're watching me right now, and branding has a lot to do with color. It has to do with fonts. It has to do with photos. It also has to do with who you are. Who you are. Okay? So if you're watching me and you're saying, okay, it helps heal, it helps help, and it helps me stand out. So if you're like, well, I'm looking at this one and I'm looking at that one, I'm looking at this one, I'm looking, and it becomes confusing, right? So I've really focused on a lot of the fonts, the colors, and the photos to really represent me. Okay. I have looked at other people's, and I won't lie to you, I looked at people who are very influential, and I was inspired by them. Okay. Some people might call it borrowing or copying or whatever. But branding the Indigenous way is all about healing, helping, and stand out. So, what part of you needs to heal? What part of you needs to be helped? What part of you needs to stand out? So, there's a lot of things that rise up, right? So, put in the chat, have you ever considered branding yourself the Indigenous way, where you're starting to heal these parts of you? It could be all of these things, weaving your identity. So, do you have things rising up in you that say, oh, I can't do that? I'm going to offend this one and that one. Believe you me, I've been there. I've been there where I resisted this and I'm like, I'm going to offend my elders. I'm going to offend my community members. I'm going to offend this one. I'm going to offend that one. That's what you need to heal inside you. This is what and you also have to help others, really, with your message, with everything about you. And you also have to stand out. And if people have told you these things in the back of your mind, you're like, well, I don't know if I want to stand out. Or, and things start coming up. So put in the chat, what in you needs to be healed, needs to be helped, and you need to stand out. Or maybe you don't have a clue what I mean. You don't have a clue what branding is. You've tried it the non-indigenous way, which, you're trying to heal yourself. I know this is my journey. Okay. Some people like to, I'm glad that everybody is, and this is a really hot topic. Okay. So branding yourself the Indigenous way. You have to heal a lot of things about yourself. And you really have to help others. And you also have to help yourself. And also helping others that are like you. And really to stand out is you need to use your story, thing you don't want to talk about. The thing you don't really want to talk about. Right? You don't want to talk about this, you want to talk about that. I'm going to offend this one, I'm going to offend that one. Oh yeah, I've been there before. I have. And some of you are like, oh, I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to talk about this. I don't want to put myself out there. And it just goes on and on and on. So does anybody have any comments, questions? I'm here to help. Does anybody have anything they want to ask? Yep. Going against my family and claiming I are Métis. Yep. Trying to heal limiting beliefs and gain self-confidence so I can shine my light brighter to help others. Okay. Yeah, that is a mindset thing. So branding has to do with, oh, you want me to do what? So it's weaving your story, right? Branding is all about weaving your story. It goes far beyond the colors, the fonts, and the photos. It's all about, because you are the brand. But the Indigenous way is a lot of healing, and you're also helping yourself, and you also have to stand out. So I struggled with that for a long time. I made sure that I was almost didn't even go there. I didn't even talk about traditions or customs I didn't even talk about that. You don't, in my earlier pictures and photos and videos, you rarely see any of my dream catchers. So I had to heal a lot of that too. But it didn't help me and it didn't help others. And I didn't stand out. I did not stand out. Now that I've embraced more of who I really am, I stand out. So anybody have any comments, questions, anything? Cheryl says, working with traditional healers and the sacred fire, all on my healing journey and learning my culture. Great. So does anybody have anything They want to ask me. Okay. That's great. You're working with your healers and sacred fire. What about you? What are you doing? How are you branding yourself? A lot of people are scared to do this. I meet with a lot of Indigenous people and they're like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what you're talking about. I was the same. I was in the same boat. But I'll try to be like this one, and I'll try to be like that one, and this one, and this one. And you end up being like a shapeshifter because nobody taught you any different. Anybody else want to comment? Because I'm going to go soon. Questions? Do you have any questions? Please put them in the chat. If you're watching the replay, put hashtag replay. Okay. Is branding yourself by being proud of your... Yes, it is. That is what we need to heal. Is branding yourself being proud. Yes. Being proud of who you are. Being proud of who you are, because your heritage is part of you. That's a good question. So does anybody have any questions? Anybody have any questions? Anybody have any questions? Yes, no? So if you're watching the replay, put hashtag replay and put your comments or questions below. Nobody? Going once? Going twice? That's it. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. If you would like to know more about this in private, I can definitely help you. I'm going to put this here. I'm going to, oh, those changes for some reason. I'm going to put that there. If you would like to chat with me more, if you would like to schedule a free breakthrough call, we can talk about this a little bit more in depth, because I do have a program, a group program called Launch and Monetize Your Gifts. Okay. Oh, I'm starting to see. So it's also your essence. It is who you are. It is who you are. Branding is all about who you are. Okay. All right. So if you would like to dive in deeper with me, because I've taken a lot of programs. I know how to brand myself, as obviously you can see. And it goes, you know, branding is very important, especially when you're starting to be like out there and standing out. And so if you feel like you're always hiding yourself, that is not really healing you, it's not really helping you, and it's not making you stand out. So I do have experience with this. I've been doing this for a very long time. Okay. And if you would like my help, I can definitely steer you in the right direction. So here is my link. Schedule a free breakthrough call here. That is where we get to chat. Make sure that you don't sign up just thinking that you're going to get a free soul reading. I have to say that because that is not what this call is about. This is for people who are very committed, who are very serious about really scaling, really putting their, how do you say it, really launching and monetize their gifts online. Okay. It's about building a successful spiritual practice and a business online. Not spiritual practice, excuse me, business online. I'm so used to saying the other thing. If you would like my help, because I've built, 6 figures in 11 months and I know what I'm talking about. So if you would love my help and say, yes, I want your help, no problem. So make sure that you're there for the right reasons. Okay. This is to see if we're a good fit for my launch and monetize your gifts program. And remember, this is not a free soul reading. Okay. All right. I'm going to go, but I wish you all a great day and I'm going to go. All right. Apna multas.